The former Augustinian monastery hospital now houses the town hall of Guingamp. This wall is all that remains of the town's fortifications. Nowadays it's an important agricultural market town. The Basilica of Notre-Dame de Bon Secours was built in the Gothic style in the 14th century. The church is decorated with stone carvings, some sacred and some profane. Inside, the church is unusual for its large number of pillars and graceful flying buttresses. There's a fine collection of stained glass windows. Just below the church is the central square. Guingamp had a municipal water supply as early as the 15th century, which fed the Plomet fountain at the top of the square. Also in the square are more modern fountains. Just off the square is a boutique hotel. Many of the medieval buildings have modern shop fronts, but there are still a few half-timbered houses in the square. A passage between two of these leads to the Old Town Mill, beyond which a boardwalk crosses the river in a very pretty area. Now that is some back garden. The boardwalk continues above the river, passing the backs of many houses. Eventually it leads to the main street. Here we found restaurants and a very sophisticated coffee bar. In a field near Guingamp is the Valley of the Saints, where, since 2008, teams of sculptors have been carving giant granite statues, each 3 to 4 meters tall. The sculptures represent monks who came over from Ireland, Wales or Cornwall to bring Christianity to Brittany. The site is set around an 11th century feudal motte. From here you get a good view of the 100 or so completed statues, looking like so many standing stones. Some of the statues are realistic, and others more stylistic. Visitors can see the sculptors at work, and over the next 50 years the plan is to bring the total number of statues to around 1,000. In the nearby hamlet of Mael-Carhaix there's a water garden. Paths with pergolas covered with clematis lead to the gardens, which are planted around water features, lawns and beds filled with trees, shrubs and old roses. The water features are fed from the nearby fishing lake. St Nicolas-de-Pelem has a 15th to 16th century church with two fine stained glass windows from 1470 depicting the Passion. To the north is a 17th century fountain of St Nicolas and its wash house. On the outskirts of the town is Toul Goulic Gorge. Here a steep path leads down through the woods. Within the gorge you can hear but not see the river Blavet as it flows beneath a massive tumble of rocks. In the churchyard at Kergrist, Moeloux, there's a calvary with around 100 granite figures resting on an octagonal plinth. The figures were damaged during the Revolution and have been replaced haphazardly. The church porch has carvings of the 12 apostles, 6 on each side. The inside of the church is dark and dank, but the ceiling is beautifully painted. The churchyard is shaded by fine old yew trees ranging between 350 and 700 years old.